1,000 days of sobriety, Bronwyn. Can you believe it? I mean, how does it feel to celebrate this milestone?
It is so huge. Last night we went out. Jen took me out to dinner in New York, in Brooklyn, to celebrate. And I was showing her old photos that I haven't been able to look at. So I was showing her old photos from 1,003 days ago, 1,002 days ago, from that weekend in Miami. I haven't been able to look at them. And she didn't recognize the person in those videos. I was looking at myself, falling down, slurring my words, puffy. I mean, the fact that I have made such progress in the last 1,000 days is unbelievable. And we're sitting there, we're having dinner, and she's like, "This is a big deal." And I said, "It is, but it's also just today." And I always stress the importance of, although it's fun to celebrate these milestones, and I think it's important for other people to see it's possible, my sobriety is one day at a time, and 1,000 days is just as important as one day.
During these 1,000 days, you've gone through so much has happened. I mean, recovering from the aftershock of the Housewives, new relationships, ending those new relationships, becoming bi-coastal. I mean, throughout all of that, how did you always make sure to prioritize your sobriety? I can't imagine that it was always easy.
There's been some really hard days. I'm really lucky that I have a good support system. So I have had days where I wanted to drink. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. 90% of the time, it's relatively easy for me not to pick up a drink. 8% of the time, it's hard. And 2% of the time, I know if I take a drink, I will die. And that's okay. Like, that's how low I have gotten at a few points in the sobriety. I have a great sponsor. I have great friends in the program. I have friends that we know just from this industry that are also sober. People like Dave Quinn, people like Captain Sandy, Anthony, who I have called, and they have been there, and they've always picked up the phone. So I think the most important part for sobriety for me has been those phone calls, those people that I can pick up no matter where I am or how bad I'm doing. And they pick up the phone and they talk me through it. And like you said, I've been through a lot. I have been through so much since I got sober. There was a pandemic.
That
I
too, I
had,
forgot that part.
yeah, like you forgot that. So there was a global pandemic. I lost my first job. I ended a marriage. I've had a few relationships start and fail. I had a major mental health crisis with one of my children. I came out, and all of these things I think would have been excuses for a lot of people to drink. I've earned this drink. This has been hard. I've earned this. And at the end of the day, not one thing that I have been through, and I've been through a lot that's hard, and even a lot more I haven't talked publicly about. Not one of those things would have been better if I had taken a drink.
What has been the secret sauce to your success, the right combination of, reaching out to your support system, or maybe seeing a therapist, or like what's kind of the Braunwyn prescription?
Honestly, the Bronwyn prescription has been the accountability to the fans, for lack of a better word, or the people I've met on Instagram, or the people that write to me and say, "Seeing you saved my life." It's not enough to stay sober. You have to do that for you, but it is enough in those dark moments to not pick up a drink, at least for me. Obviously working in a program is important. Having that daily check-in. There's one meeting that I try to make it to every week. It's my home group. It's a female only women identifying meeting. And having that accountability. Okay, I'm here, I'm present. But for me, giving back is a big part of it. I've said this before, and I'm not just saying it, I actually do this. If you live near me, and even if we don't know each other, if you're just on Instagram and want to go to a meeting, I will take you to your first meeting. And I've done that, and I've stayed in contact with a lot of these people that have gotten and stayed sober because they were scared to go to their first meeting. So when people message me, I video chat them back, because I want them to know it's not my assistant or a robot or whatever. You're actually talking to me. And that has been the best part, because I think paying it forward, I get it back 10 times more. And I really care. Like, if I don't have to know you to care about your sobriety, I really want anyone that's struggling to get sober. And I will do whatever I can to help you with that.
That's incredible. Oh my God, how lucky your fans are to have that access to you, who want help and are looking for help. And then
They're not all fans. Let me be very specific. Some of the people that have asked for help, when you go through the old text change, they haven't been fans. They've actually been said some horrible things, but like, then when the chips are down, it's like, okay, but I need help. Okay, you don't have to like me for me to help you.
oh,
Let me be very clear. When it comes to sobriety, if you need help, even if you've said something mean to me in the past, if you're trying to get sober, we share a common goal and you are family.
You are so open and transparent about your experiences on social media. And I guess you already answered it. It does kind of help keep you accountable. I mean, how important has your following been to your success staying sober?
So important. I mean, I don't know if you've seen them, but they're like Dear Diary post, for lack of a better word. Sometimes when I'm really low, I just go on my Instagram and use it as like a confessional, I'm not doing okay today. And I'm just touching in with all of you guys, just so you guys know, I need to let everyone know that I'm not doing okay. There was one day I was alone in Brooklyn, in the apartment, didn't know anyone. I was so close. That's the closest I've been to drinking. And some stuff had been happening in my life. And I was so close to doing it. I'm like, no one will know. No one will know. And I went on Instagram and I just talked about that feeling. And that was enough. But there are hard days and that's okay.